Hey everyone, welcome back to PokeMarketLab. I hope all of you had a fantastic Christmas or holiday break. We are back at it a day late with a midweek market update. And just like every midweek market update, we're going to give away a couple of stickers. So if you don't know, if you leave a comment below on this video, you could have a chance at winning a sticker, no cost to you. And this week's winners here are Lids87 and Chris Pogie 1726. Hit me up at PokeMarketLab at gmail.com and we'll get a sticker in the mail for you at no cost. And with that, we are going to get into it. First up, we are talking Fusion Strike. I did a video on this, I think it was earlier this week or late last week. It's definitely starting to go up there. It's kind of leading the pack outside of Evolving Skies. It's really kind of starting to separate itself from like the Lost Origins of the world. For a while there, it was kind of a dead heat between Chilling Reign, Lost Origin, and Fusion Strike, but Fusion Strikes definitely takes the cake now and is definitely starting to separate. In that video, I talked about a price target for this in 2025, and I think that $400 to $500 range, if the bull market continues, is going to be that price target for these booster boxes. So if you do have some squirreled away, hold on to them. I think now is not the time to sell these. I think the bull market that we're in for Pokemon is going to continue for a little while here. I would say up until at least the Team Rocket set, unless it's a complete downer of a set. But I would hold on these for now. Definitely doing great, and it has really good cards in the set. Gengar is really doing well as well. We've seen a fantastic 30% return on near mint listings here in the last 30 days. So that's really significant. It's only 23 near mint listings for this Gengar VMAX on TCG Player. It's a phenomenal card. It's absolutely a great set. And I think, one thing I want to talk about later in this video is it's weird the money's definitely flowing back towards Sword and Shield, but in a different way. And I think we're really seeing the smart money come back into Sword and Shield, because it's not unlike what we saw in Scarlet and Violet, where everything kind of started to rise. The money seems to be picking and choosing what it invests in Sword and Shield, which I think is fantastic, because there's like every era, there's some downer sets for sure. The Mew in Fusion is doing fantastic as well. A beautiful climb here, about a 30% return in the last month, only 27 near mint listings on TCG Player. So it's, again, fantastic set. I don't think this is oftentimes we see sets rise and we can't figure, it's hard to come up with a thesis as to why. This is not one of those cases. This is a fantastic set. Great singles, great cards. The question now is, if you miss the boat on Fusion Strike, it's certainly, these are going to dry up quick. This is going to start doing Evolving Skies things. It's going to start doing some leapfrogging here. So if you're a really long-term holder, I think any price for Fusion Strike is a decent price to get in on. If you have a position, I don't think I would add to it at that price, but if you missed out, I would certainly, now could be an opportunity to just know that, you're kind of FOMOing into it at this point. Lost Origin starting to rise as too, not as crazy as what we're seeing in Fusion Strike, but this is definitely, I think, a contender for that solid third spot in the Sword and Shield universe. Kind of between this and kind of that Chilling Reign is really where they're going to be kind of jockeying for third, I think, here. So $257 market price, a little bit of return on the last month, nothing crazy, nothing like Fusion Strike, but again, I think some of that money, as we're seeing some increase in Scarlet and Violet era, I think some of the money's flowing back for products that are really fairly old at this point. So only 95 listings on TCG Player, so doing quite well. Gutina from Lost Origin doing phenomenally, a beautiful 20+% return in last month, sitting at a $500 market price. Not my cup of tea for a card. Market disagrees with me. I'm just it's a little too busy for my taste. There's only 20 of these listed in near mint on TCG Player, so doing phenomenally well. On to Silver Tempest. Silver Tempest has been doing great since it sold out on Pokemon Center. 100 of these listed on TCG Player. We're going up against that $200 price point here. I think that's a little hot for Silver Tempest, considering, if you just looked at a Lost Origin at $260, Lost Origin is the better set, I think. Silver Tempest holds its own, but I think this is a little hot. I think that money kind of saw a cheap box. It's a decent set. I think this is where it should probably settle in the long run here. Rayquaza from Silver Tempest is doing great. Beautiful 20+% return in the last month, sitting at a $440 market price. I think this is a cool card. And the Lugia is doing very, very well from Silver Tempest, 10% return in the last month. So again, Silver Tempest has some good cards. It's a good set. I think it's just not as old as some of these other sets. And it did get heavily reprinted. I mean, these were Silver Tempest, I think a year ago, we were getting for under $100 a box on like a TikTok or something like that. So, and then on to Chilling Reign, again, kind of jockeying for that third place position. between Lost Origin and Chilling Reign, and sitting at a $240 market price. Only 80 of these listed on TCG Player, so doing quite well. The Blazin from Chilling Reign sitting at about a $300 market price. A little bit of a return on the last month here. Again, I've said this before. It's just a little cartoonish for me for this kind of artwork. So Brilliant Stars finally starting to get some love. This set it's kind of a love it or hate it set. It really stagnated for a long period of time here, but doing well at a $213 price point. And I think definitely in one of the, kind of that tier of better sets from Sword and Shield. Like I talked about earlier, it's not just it's not dumb money just pouring into Sword and Shield and saying, hey, anything from Sword and Shield is old, let's just pick it up. Battle Styles, for instance, definitely not. I don't love this set. I think it's considered a bottom tier set from Sword and Shield, and it really hasn't done much. When you look in the last month, only a 1% return on these boxes, and I think that's rightfully so. So we're not seeing a lot of dumb money just pick up whatever in Sword and Shield because it's old and because it's cheap. So this is it's a sign to me that it's really very targeted in Sword and Shield, which I think is fantastic. So definitely this is not your money, even though there are more expensive boxes in Sword and Shield. Your money's much better spent elsewhere. Again, one of my core tenets when I'm buying boxes is I want to make sure that what's in there is good. It has to have good stuff. I don't buy things. I don't care how old it is. I don't care how much the box itself, the box price, how the box might be coveted. I don't care. I don't chase stuff that just doesn't have good support from the cards within it. And same thing with Darkness Ablaze, another absolutely, I think, one of the most terrible sets from the Sword and Shield era, and it's really not doing much. It's done a little bit, 8% return in the last month, and there's only 30 of these listed on TCG Player. So, and this may change. People may run at this as it starts to dry up and it just becomes rare. That could be a thing, right? Where it's so rare that the box price starts to increase. That could be, some people play that hand, but to me, that's risky long term. So. Again, I'm surprised these haven't been gobbled up with only 30 listed on TCG Player. And same thing with Vivid Voltage, really hasn't done much. 60 of these listed on TCG Player, 3% in return in the last month, $150 micro price. And again, this is of the bottom tier sets in Sword and Shield. Yeah, Astro Radiance has done a little well here, a little 4% return in the last month, $180 price point. Again, this is I would put this at a mid-tier set, not terrible, not great in Sword and Shield, and it's definitely doing okay. So, just nothing to write home about. So. And that's your midweek market update here, really focused on Sword and Shield. Again, we're starting to see some money flow backwards to that era as things start to dry up and things age quite nicely. Again, Future Strike, a phenomenal set from that age. Absolutely, I think, deserving of a $400 to $500 price target, regardless of how much this bull run continues. I think that's irregardless that's going to happen, whether it happens in 2025 or 2026, but I think that's a fairly conservative estimate here. So there's definitely some other stuff out there to get. I mean, I don't think I always look for cheap boxes, and it's going to be harder to find cheap boxes in the Sword and Shield era. But again, these products are really quite old at this point. The reprint risk I don't want to say it's gone. The booster box reprint risk is gone, but we are seeing a ton of Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, I don't know if it's Vivid Voltage or Astro Radiance ETBs come back to market on various platforms. I think Target being one of the big ones right now. And I would probably classify it as a reprint at this point, just given the volume that we're seeing come to market. So it looks like they're doing a little bit of a reprint of some ETBs. It could be that they were overprinted and they're just being shuffled around, but I don't know why they keep going in and out of stock at these retailers here. I thought they would want to kind of flush them out. We did see them try to flush them out on Black Friday with a $20 ETB deals on some of them, which was a fantastic deal for things like Lost Origin. But I just don't I think it's a reprint. I'm going to classify it as a reprint at this point. It seems to be the modus operandi of a Pokemon company at this point is just to kind of throw reprints at it, not kind of, they don't want to eradicate the confidence in the market, which makes sense. So that's it for this week's market update. And again, if you want to throw in your hat throw your name in a hat for a pull on a sticker, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you like what we're doing, please comment and comment or subscribe. And with that, we'll see you in the next one.